Well, guys, how you doing? It is early, and I just want to say good morning. And I first actually want to say I'm sorry because I said I was going to jump on here days ago to talk to you guys about a potential Pierre-Luc Dubois trade and what it could actually entail to try to acquire him, and also to try to talk about Jakub Dobes. I'm not sure how to pronounce it still, but one thing I will say, and I'm going to make this video relatively short because it is early, and yes, I have been a bit sick, and I do have to go to work this morning. Actually, my shifts are moved around a little bit here, but I just quickly want to say about Jakub Dobes because I've only watched so much footage, and you can only glean so much from YouTube footage about a player. But I'll tell you that I did not realize. Now, when it comes to comparable styles, to me, Jakub, in terms of his athleticism, is the most comparable to Carey Price that I've seen in terms of Montreal goaltender prospects. And I had to go back and look at his height because he's actually even taller than Carey was. He's about 2 inches taller than Carey at 6'5". He's listed at 197 pounds right now. And the Canadiens drafted him in the fifth round, 136th overall in the 2020 NHL entry draft. So with his numbers with Ohio State University in the Big Ten, the most recent numbers anyway, you can look at everything and say, okay, numbers wise, he's got potential for sure. And we hope that his game translates to the AHL because he's with the Laval Rocket right now. And we all hope that it's going to go very well, of course. But in terms of just natural athleticism and body movement, he did remind me of Carey a little bit. I'm not going to go too much further on that. I haven't watched enough of him consistently over a period of time to think that, okay, this is our next guy. But some of you guys have, and some of you guys already are convinced that he's our next guy. And if you watch Caden Primo recently, he's done okay. But then, you look at last night against the Detroit Red Wings, he gets lit up pretty good. So that's not really a good stretch of games to compare, though, even for Caden. So I do think, though, that Dobes being there, you guys got to help me in the pronunciation because it's either Dobes or Dobes. He's from Ostrava, Czech Republic. So, or Czechia, but it does actually say Czech Republic on hockeydb.com. Anyway, but hopefully Jakub can push Caden and really bring the competition level up. And I think that's part of the reason why they signed him at this point, is to push the competition forward and see who their guy is. All right. Now, when it comes to Pierre-Luc Dubois, we just heard the other day that Pierre LeBrun mentioned how Kent Hughes may use Florida's pick that they got in the Ben Sherratt deal in another trade at the draft this summer. So that does make me think of Pierre-Luc Dubois and how the timing of that could work out rather well. Now, I do think, though, that a Pierre-Luc Dubois deal might be dependent on if somehow the Canadiens win the lottery and get Connor Bedard, or they get just, I would say almost as fortunate and get Adam Fantilli at number 2. Those guys are going to start in the NHL next year, Bedard and Fantilli. What are the likelihood that the Canadiens are going to get either of them? Not very high right now, with the Canadiens still in 28th place, where I said they're going to finish most likely, and they are. And rest in peace to Matvey Michkov's father as well. That's very, very sad news. So just I want to give condolences to him and his family. But when it comes to where the Canadiens draft, if they are able to get another centerman, Carlson, if they're able to get Carlson in the draft, does that change their plans for Dubois? Maybe not, because Dubois would be ready right now as a centerman. And I do think that if this trade with Dubois is going to happen, it sounds like it could be at the draft. And the Canadiens could, will they go with their Sean Monahan pick from 2025 first rounder as well? Will they package a deal, for this year's 2023 first rounder, the 2025 first rounder, Joel Edmondson, and some kind of a top prospect in a Pierre-Luc Dubois deal? I don't know if that's good enough. They might want another roster player. I would think like a Christian Dvorak, someone like him maybe. But does it replace the talent level of Pierre-Luc Dubois for Winnipeg? Not really. But Pierre-Luc Dubois did make it clear he's going to go to the 2024 UFA window, and he wants to test those waters. So they can try to get a package for him. Winnipeg can. Therefore, the Canadiens could be dealing from a position of strength, because in order for Winnipeg to make this deal, the Canadiens have to be happy with it. And both parties have to be happy, but the Canadiens don't have to make a deal for Dubois, right? That's where the Canadiens may be dealing from a position of strength. They don't have to make this deal. They want to improve the team. They want to make the rebuild a little quicker and speed it up a little bit, maybe with a Dubois deal, but it has to make sense for the Habs. So that's pretty much all I got for my thoughts there. So got to rush off right now, guys. But I will talk to you again very soon. We'll be back on this channel more regularly as we wind down and get closer to May 8th. The NHL Draft Lottery is May 8th. That date is circled on my calendar right now because it's so important. It's so crucial to the future of the Montreal Canadiens. I'll talk to you guys real soon.